Professor Njuguna Ndung'u is the Executive Director of the African Economic Research Consortium based in Kenya. Before joining ARC, he held the position of Kenya's Central Bank Governor from 2007 until March 2015. He holds a PhD in economics from the University of Gothenburg, Sweden, and master's and bachelor's degrees in economics from the University of Nairobi. Are you in touch with President Kenyatta's administration? Are you advising them in any way?
No, not at the moment. At the ARC, we believe that we generate knowledge, and that knowledge should be shared. And even though sometimes it's general, we have case studies across countries, so we can actually apply the specific knowledge. But what I was telling you is that we are available to discuss any topical issues, specific or general.
When you look at next year, the elections, they're coming up. Are you also in discussions, with would-be presidential candidates in relation to...
No. You see, we are in academia, in policy research, economic research and policy advice. And we don't tread in those areas of politics. It's not because there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with politics. But essentially, we leave it to those people who can predict what is really happening. We come in terms of how do we package the strategy, okay? But that is when you are asked. But everybody has a prior thinking. What is your prior? I'm actually saying after the COVID, we should have vibrant growth in the economy. We should look at sustainable environment that is going to help us grow and continue to grow, to be prosperous. We should make sure that we absorb our unemployed youth in any way we can manage in terms of their credentials.
Can you separate politics from business?
Yes and no. You can separate that because when you're talking about business, we're talking about strategies that is going to help us promote human development, human capital, the goals that we have. Politics is about being there to push the projects that you want, and you want to make sure that it is supported, okay? But if it fails, then it means that you have to restart again. But for me, you can separate politics and business. Politics, if it provides good leadership and allows the economy to grow, helps us all to think about the positivity of leadership, isn't it? But if it doesn't, then we start looking for alternative leadership. We start having chaos because things are not going to be well coordinated. I'm not worried about politics. What we are really worried is, are we going to get a leader who is going to give us, who is going to be that CEO of that company that has succeeded?
All right. And, will you run for office next year?
I'm comfortable where I am. I work for Africa to provide the best solutions to our problems. They are economic, they are social, and they are also political. But the intersection of well-being is actually economic diversification and structural transformation.
Professor, what exactly did they not teach you in economics school that you sort of had to learn on the job?
I think I've taught myself most of the things, and one of them is about trying to understand the environment you are in and trying to use the tools that you have learned to apply them in a practical world. And that is how you relate to the world. And then every day there is a new information coming in. It allows you to process that information appropriately and make the right decisions. Yeah. So we learned a lot in school, but the most important thing is that it's not what we learned, but what we are confronted with. We use the instruments and the knowledge base that we learned in school to interpret what is happening today.
And what do you wish someone told you when you were 19 years old that you now know?
When I was 19 years old, my biggest preoccupation was to pass my examination and even to have fees the next term. I'm one of those people who went to school because the coffee was producing appropriate returns. But when the returns were not there, you would not go to school, you would not have appropriate fees structure. So you spent most of the time at home because you didn't have the fees. So my biggest preoccupation at that time was, how do I get the fees for, will my father get fees for the next term? And will I manage to finish the school? That was a preoccupation. After that, it's a question of, will you get an employment that can allow you to actually have some livelihood? That is what I would wish for everyone, every young man at that age. The moment you're employed and you have sorted out your basics, then you start looking at how do you help others to achieve the same thing.